at BFI.
Yeah.
And we are live.
And we are live.
Namaste, namaste, namaste. Hello, hello, hello.
This shit is going to go off the rails really quick.
Yeah, we ruined it. Dhruv is already cursing us. Yeah,
Yes.
in बंदरों को मैंने
Yep. That's
I
basically
think I
it.
should listen to what I am saying in that comment, basically.
Yep.
But
No, but
nice. StreamYard interface has improved considerably. It's
better
good.
than the interfacing control, I think.
Ooh. Should we start with that then? Because you
I
watched
mean,
it. I have not. Hi, Chris. How are you?
oh, you haven't watched it? Okay.
No, sir. I got back at 11:45 last night and I had to get up at 6 for a class. So I
Oh
was
boy.
like, not happening.
No, I think we can start. But before that, should we do all the cursory stuff regarding a YouTube channel, like all that shit which people do
Which is what?
for, like like, share, whatever the damn, like,
Karna
share,
and
subscribe.
I
Ah,
mean, you
karna.
you and I are not the poster boys for please like and share and subscribe.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good boy behavior Dhruv and Sanjeet ko suit karta hai.
yeah, yeah. We are the people who will tell you do not like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't care whether you like.
yeah.
We are here
Yeah.
to say our bit.
Yep. Varun, you have a podcast. That is true.
That is being recovered. I'm making great attempts to recover that podcast, by the way. Yes. That is
Oh, that
hopefully going
episode.
to
That
I'm going
episode
to
you are.
hopefully be able to launch it with Paddington 3 when it comes into cinemas, which is 8th
Hmm.
of November.
When is it coming?
8th of November. Pre-booking has started. Shows are sold out already. Like, people are nuts about that bear, man. It's crazy.
Good only.
True, true. Like, that and Gladiator will basically save Hollywood.
No, it's going to say British cinema.
No, no,
Hollywood,
no.
nobody gives a share. Hollywood, nobody
I mean,
cares.
that's also their problem, right? Like, over here, London Film Festival is on. They have opened Apprentice here while it has opened in theaters. I'm like, so you have no hope for your movie. You're
No,
opening it simultaneously. Like, हाँ, चलो, डाल दो, निकाल दो picture. Endurance also same thing. But I
Apprentice
mean,
for some reason is getting a lot of, how do I put this? Lot of marketing things from other influencers and people. Like High on
acha,
Films, Gangs of Singapore, Humans of Cinema, everybody is sharing. I'm like, baap re.
Trump is getting a lot of traffic, no? In the run up to the election, it's a good way
Hmm.
to drive up
Hmm.
your subscriber base or just your viewership number. I think
Hmm.
generally.
And considering Trump just released a statement calling the movie a tactless portrait of himself. I'm like, tact कहाँ से आएगा तेरे लिए भाई?
हाँ, तेरे
Tactless
लिए
ही तो
वो भी.
तेरे
Three
लिए.
casinos. Somebody on Reddit was saying we shouldn't take economic advice from a guy who managed to successfully bankrupt 3 casinos. I found that so hilarious.
3 casinos.
Yeah,
They should make
but
an Oceans movie about this.
definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yes, it is quite funny. I have to admit. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's been quite an interesting last week of movie watching, at least from my perspective. Even I had not watched like a bunch of movies for a while, and then suddenly
Uh,
I've watched now I've watched 3-4 movies in a row, starting with fucking Mamma Mia of all things. It's such a terrible
wow.
film. It's such an atrocious movie. I'd forgotten how bad it is.
Did you? Is Pierce Brosnan in that movie or in the sequel?
He's in both.
He's in both, right? Pierce Brosnan can't sing.
He
If you
can't.
put a gun, if you put a gun to his head, he's not going to be able to
Him
sing.
and Salmon Bhai are on the same level of singing. What is
सैलमोन भाई तो लिरिक्स भी लिखता था सर. रेस 3 का लिरिक्स याद नहीं है?
lyrics? क्या एक बार बेबी सेल्फिश होके अपने लिए
एक बार
जियो ना.
yep.
कविराज ध्रुव के दोस्त कविराज सलमान खान.
Atif Aslam sang that song. Dude, I'm just wondering what was Atif thinking?
The things you will do for money. I mean, if Salman wrote a song and said to me, मैं तेरे को 50 लाख दूंगा, हमने कहा गालूंगा मैं. मेरा 1 साल का ट्यूशन निकल जाएगा उसमें.
That is also true.
है ना?
Capitalism, man.
Atif must have wanted to send his child also to a foreign university.
If you guys can't understand, we are trying to avoid talking about control as much as possible.
No,
At
we are
least I
reaching-
am. At least I am.
we have arrived at control because you mentioned it. So this is Vikramaditya Motwane's new film, obviously.
Yes.
Dhruv is closely tied into an associate of Motwani's who worked on the film. She's also been on the podcast once or twice, I think. I'm not sure. I think twice.
Mm,
Once for Rocky and Rani and once for Jubilee.
mm.
No, not for
No,
Jubilee.
she
Not
wasn't in
for,
Jubilee. She
because
wasn't
she
in
worked on
Jubilee.
Jubilee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
And I did not like Jubilee, and I was very vociferous
yeah,
about that. I did not
about
like
that.
it that much.
You're
Yeah.
vociferous about everything, Amartya. There's nothing. There's no easy ways about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So, Dhruv has recused himself from this
Hmm.
discussion on control and Jigra
I
because
don't know, man.
his stomach and his Jigra are not in sync today.
This method of recusal only highlights more of a red flag about the quality of the movie itself. Just putting it
So
out there.
start. You should talk about it because I have not watched it. I genuinely try to avoid anything which has Ananya Pandey anywhere near it,
Mm, No, but
which
you
is
have
why I
seen the
haven't watched
trailer,
Bad
right?
News also.
You have seen the trailer, right?
I have, I think. I
Yeah.
don't remember much of it, but yeah, I mean, Nell
Uh,
and Joel or
N-
something are their names.
Nella is her name. She's an influencer. So
You already lost me. Like, we
yeah, yeah.
already had one
I
influencer movie
I
with her
had
last
lost
year.
myself when I had started watching the movie in the first place. So
Dhruv's
it
favorite
is
movie from last year, Kho Gaye Hum Kahan.
no. The plot is basically that Nella, which is played by Ananya Pandey, her and her boyfriend both started a vlog documenting their relationship. As the influencers do. So they became very popular online as
Ah,
well as offline.
okay.
So she goes to surprise him at his birthday at the restaurant, only to find that he's cheating on her with another girl. This
Okay.
is yeah, okay. So she goes on a tirade. So and that is captured on a live stream, on a Facebook, on a Instagram live stream that is captured.
Fantastic.
So she goes mad. She
हमारे
has a
लाइव स्ट्रीम्स में
breakup.
ये सब होता है. Like
Her
we are not
like
bringing
yeah,
such drama to people's lives.
yes. No, but if it is like so, she breaks up with her boyfriend, and then she decides that she's going to do the what is the name of the Charlie Kaufman movie? Why am I forgetting the Charlie Kaufman movie? Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet's Charlie Kaufman
Truman Show.
movie. No,
No,
Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet romance movie. Charlie Kaufman.
forgotten.
What do you?
Somebody was talking about it.
Eternal Sunshine. Yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So she decides that she's going to do an Eternal Sunshine thing and remove her picture, remove him from her memories, her
So
picture, the memory.
there is one more
Yeah.
person who does this. His name is Joseph Stalin. You should go back to his photos from the 30s and 40s.
I
The
did
people,
not expect.
yeah, the
I did
people
not
he used to
expect this.
purge. So the people he used to get purged or killed or whatever, they used to be removed from the photos. Can you imagine Photoshop in the
being
30s and
being that
40s?
petty that you invented Photoshop. you
It's not Adobe, it's Comrade Photoshop.
comrade. No, so
It's a
she
fact, Chris. I mean, look it up, dude. I swear.
so she installs an AI.
Okay.
The AI whose facial description is affectionately titled as Ranveer Singh Light, basically because
Okay.
it looks like Bittu from Ban Baja Barat in
Band
a way.
Baja Barat, okay.
Yeah, but it is voiced by Apashakti Khurana, so I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, so
Okay.
yeah, so
Of the
she
many things he's good at, voice acting may not be.
no, he's fine. He's unmemorable. We
Also,
can think
what is it with Vihan Samat appearing in these things which have an actor playing an inanimate object of some kind but
I have
giving
no idea.
like vocal acting? He did that show for Netflix also with Rahul Bose and Suchitra
I
Pillai and
think
Amrita
Vihan
Seth.
Sama did not give any vocal acting in this.
No, he didn't. But Jim Sarb is the sort of devil on the shoulders in that show. I forgot. It's
Oh
such
yeah.
a fuck-all show. Like
Oh,
so
it's a dating
terrible.
show in South
Yeah,
Bombay,
yeah,
na?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so terrible. Like he apparently wills the fact that her dad has a heart attack and he's there, and that girl believes it. I was like, this show is such absolute garbage, man. What world do these people live in?
We know what world they live in. It's fine, but
We don't, sir. Otherwise, we'd empathize with them.
yes, no, but the story then goes on a very predictable pattern because the AI soon reveals itself that it is being controlled by its overseer. It is
Big
looking for
brother kind of
something.
thing.
Big Brother kind of thing. It is looking for something within the administrative control related to a
Yes.
company.
That's the one. Eternally confused and eager for love. Like
Even that
जिसका
has a Charlie
title
Kaufman
इतना
connection.
वाहियात है, जिसका
Even that has a
title इतना
Charlie Kaufman
वाहियात है.
connection. मतलब कुछ भी. No, but
Sorry, go on.
we learned that the AI is under control by a company which has already, it has become like a massive company. It has its own operating system, own
Okay.
market chains and everything. It's called Mantra, because of course it is
Yeah.
Mantra, Meta. You get the idea. You grow where this is going. So it's like, yeah, and the story goes in a very predictable pattern. मतलब जितना predictable तुम सोच सकते हो वही होता है.
Right.
It's like they started developing it a long time back, and you can see it because by the time the movie is finished and released, the world has already moved on. People have
Moved
seen
on
Black
from
Mirror.
no, and moved on from such simplistic AI, right? Like AI is far more sort of complicated and layered in
Yeah,
its machinations today.
and it's like you can see that there are scenes where the AI will ultimately do a deep faking video, like Vihan
Hmm.
Samad's character will be revealed to have much more of a hand within all these AI stuff, and within the company
Okay.
corporate espionage. It will be revealed, but it is
Acha.
very predictable. Okay, like it's not
Yeah.
at all like some sort of a massive thing. It's very
Right.
predictable, but there will be a video message with him like describing the perils of artificial intelligence, blah blah blah, in a very social message type of a way, in which you have to
Dhru's
specify कि
favorite
क्या हो
kind
रहा है.
of movie.
Yes, yes. And so, and then the AI will ultimately change the video that will implicate Ananya Pandey's character as having murdered her boyfriend, blah 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 blah. The
Oh
AI
my
will
god.
do that. The AI will do that. So it's like each and every process within the plotting is very predictable. Like
Hmm.
predictable to the point that you are going to get bored.
I think, and also it kind of the whole thing, the makes me think of a Robert Harris novel called The Fear Index, which is about a rogue AI fiddling with the markets in Zurich. It was
Okay, okay.
recently adapted for a show starring what's his face, the pretty boy from Pearl Harbor, Josh
Josh
Hartnett.
Hartnett. Josh
Yeah,
Hartnett. He was in Trap, sir. The Trap masterpiece movie where everybody shot
Oppenheimer.
on. Oppenheimer छोड़ो sir. Up Trap. Trap is now the big thing
No,
now.
so that was a show, and the AI sort of goes rogue, and it's kind of sounding similar to that. But my sort of quandary is because I've not watched the film, obviously. AI gone rogue is so passe, right? Why would you even
It's not
greenlight
even.
this?
It's not even that it is passe. The depiction of the AI gone rogue
Okay,
is more passe. That is the
acha.
problem I have. And it's like it is supposed to be screen life movies, right? One of the big
Yeah,
issues
yeah,
with
yeah.
screen, yeah, like with searching,
Hmm.
Anish Shaganti is searching, and then
Yeah,
that's quasi sequel missing, all that stuff, or
right.
even Mahesh Narayanan See You Soon, right? All
Okay.
those movies. The problem with screen life movies is you are showing the busyness of the screen, right? But then you are going to focus on something very specific within the screen itself.
Right.
So if you are going to focus on something, like say your camera at this point, like you are talking, like if this entire screen life thing becomes a movie, now the
Hmm.
camera is going to focus on your face as your expression changes to
Right,
a
right, right,
shock and horror or something, to
right.
impact or highlight more, right? Or
Yeah.
like the best sequence within this movie is a plot sequence in which Ananya Pandey's character doesn't remember the password of her boyfriend's old email account. So
Okay.
to recover that password, that entire sequence is scored to an exciting music in which she gets an OTP, which gets into another message, which is how she's entering
Oh.
into that. Yeah, but
Hmm.
they don't manage to get that busyness, like
Right. Yeah.
quantity of handling modern technology and modern social media is the chaos of it all, right? Which I
Right.
think that LSD2 captures really well.
Right.
LSD2 captured that social media proliferation extremely well, which I think Control doesn't, because Control is too sleek.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Control is.
social media is also pretty in the sense wherever you look at curation, because this is about influencers. There is a
Hmm,
whole breed of influencers who are derogatorily called chapris, which is a term I at least don't
which is
subscribe
a
to. I
extremely
think they're
casteist
just,
term.
it's not
Extremely
just
casteist.
casteist, it's also looking at it from a lens of, just because it's not my taste, it does not, it is not good,
Hmm,
right?
hmm,
It's falling. So the kind of people you're describing that the film is about it,
Hmm.
are really into that sort of curated, sort of beautified world. So I
Yes.
suppose then the sleekness, as opposed to Dibakar's film, which was about a lot more about, regular people, where
Hmm.
such sleekness is probably not sort of
No,
affordable,
but
really, almost.
no, but it's also like, to maintain that sleekness, there is also a chaos behind the scenes, right?
Okay.
It doesn't get into that. What I really admire about this movie somewhat is the quote unquote production design. And why that I mean, because they have to avoid copyright infringement, they have to create logos of different
Logos, yeah,
companies.
yeah,
Yeah, and all that stuff. They have to create a new interface and everything. Like,
yeah. Right,
those look legitimate.
right.
Those
Which
actually
don't
look
often in
which
film.
don't often look legitimate at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I saw a Bengali movie quite recently before Pujo and everything. It is called Kabir. It stars your favorite Bengali actor Dev from
Dave.
Mahajyoতি. Okay,
I
2018's
was
Kabir.
only interested in Bhaga Jatin because I'm interested in Bhaga Jatin, not in Free Dave.
Yeah. So in that movie, he's an STS officer, right? He's an actual anti-terrorist officer. So
Okay.
his superior is working in the computer cell, and the computer cell is showing hacking going on, but it is basically a C++ program. I'm like, क्या
Hmm.
सोच के रखा है हम लोगों को, मतलब क्या सोच के रखा है. It came out in 2018. इतना भी तो चूतिए नहीं है हम. क्या सोच के रखा है हम लोगों को.
विजुअल बेसिक वाला जब क्लास हुआ था तब ये लोग नहीं थे क्लास में.
I think so. So if you compare that to this, it's much more, you know, profound in its quote unquote realism, which also becomes a problem, because in the final act,
Hmm.
the most emotional poignant moment of the movie comes from the fact that when her perfectly screen life of Ananya
Hmm.
Pandey is actually destroyed due to the AI, she has to go back from Bombay to her own town, right? Own city. And when
Okay.
she does that, we see
Please tell
we
me it's
see
like
the
Patna or somewhere, and she becomes like
I
a
don't even remember
gangs of
where it is. So,
Wasipur type
no,
person.
no, 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 no. I don't even remember where it is. But anyway, my point, it's a cosmopolitan place. Anyway, doesn't
Right.
matter. My point being that, yeah, see Delhi. Isliye I don't remember. I don't want to remember that place. Anyway, so
सर आप
yeah.
कैलकाटा से हो. Not
मैं
much
कलकत्ता
better.
से भी नहीं हूँ. मैं कलकत्ता से भी नहीं हूँ.
Alipur boy.
जलपाईगुड़ी भाई. So, no, so when she goes back, you will see the filmmaking then changes to conventional filmmaking.
Right.
It shifts from screen life and then it becomes
Hmm.
conventional filmmaking, because
Yeah.
her life is now destroyed, and that is the moment the film actually has some emotional urgency, because
Okay.
during those moments you will realize that her life is destroyed because of that usage of AI and because of
Huh.
her obsession with social media.
Okay.
But now, as she's trying to reconstruct her life back from scratch, she is realizing that she has to go back to the AI again. And the
Right.
movie ends like that, with
So,
her going back to that AI to take
okay.
control of her life again. That is the
Wow.
only time the movie is actually quote unquote Black Mirror ish, without being overtly Black Mirror ish. Yeah.
Motwane should just go back to doing like human drama, I think.
No, movie actually works in those emotional beats, because Ananya
That's what I'm
Pandey
saying, right?
legitimately, yeah,
Human drama as opposed to
yeah,
geeking out over tech, which
he's
is
geeking out a lot over this. Huh? Any interview you watch of Motwane,
yeah,
all the behind the scenes stuff is way more interesting than what the movie is showing.
right. But
Yeah.
Motwani's always been kind of geared forward in terms of like, if you look at the guys who were a part of Phantom, that
Hmm.
creepy dude, Kashyap, Motwani, all these guys.
Hmm.
Motwani is clearly the one who's most inclined towards sort of a newer format of filmmaking. That's why word has it
As
that
well as
he's
as
going
well
to
as
make India's first native IMAX movie,
yeah, yeah,
which would
yeah.
be great if he does it, because his
Hmm.
partner on this, Nikhil Dwivedi, is apparently producing the film. That's the word.
Hmm.
I just hope Motwani doesn't do the Saurav Ganguly biopic. Like, I don't think that's his cup of tea. Why would you want to? Why
As a
should a film
Bengali,
say starring Ayushmann Khurrana, produced by Love Ranjan, directed by Vikramaditya Motwane? It sounds wrong.
as a Bengali, I can only say, please don't make a Saurav Ganguly biopic, please.
I mean, What will you say? Rich boy becomes successful.
No. Have you seen the present day condition of Saurav Ganguly's PR at this point is laughably bad. Don't do it.
I
That
mean,
movie is going to
also like
backfire massively.
you can't make a Ganguly biopic now with the kind of awareness cricket fans had of their stars or heroes' lives in the 90s without mention of the actress he's allegedly had an affair with.
Yes,
He's
100%. You
not
can't
going to
do
let
that.
you include that.
Of
Then
course not.
why would you want to make a movie? It's
Hmm.
not like there is any conflict left.
Or it's like how what are you going to focus the most on? Greg Chappell, you're going to paint him as a by the numbers villain. Please, bhai. ऐसा मत
I mean,
करो.
Ganguly deserved to get kicked from the team at that time. His performance was terrible. Like everything was going. Even against Zimbabwe, you could.
Any Bengali hearing this, that is not my opinion. I am innocent in this. This is not my opinion.
And Dravid was statistically a better captain, at least like up till the World Cup, where everything fell apart. No thanks to Ganguly, 66 of 129 balls against bloody Bangladesh of all countries.
अच्छा ठीक है, let's go back to this. Chris is
Control, yeah.
saying,
My biggest
yeah,
issue with
my
Pandit.
younger
Okay.
version of video deviating did for millennial. Yeah, I understand, but it's also like I think I buy into what Motwane was saying about Ananya Pandey in his interviews. And I think this is the one time where I actually saw it. She's quite emotive with her eyes. Actually, legitimately, she is.
Sir,
It-
आँख ज्यादा खोलना और थोड़ा कम खोलना में
no, it's not just that. It's not just that. You get what I'm talking about. It's not
I
just
watched
that.
Gairaiya, sir. I put myself through that. Okay.
Yeah. She's better than what she was in Gairaiya. That I will admit,
I
100%. Though,
should hope so. It's been like 3 years since that movie.
और 20 choices अगर आपको मिले, you can only improve unless you're Sara Ali Khan. Other than that, you can only improve.
Who's just been getting worse with every passing film.
Yeah. I have
Any
watched
any
Call Me
other?
Bay. I have watched Call Me Bay. See, Chris, you have watched Call Me Bay. Nobody. I am sorry, but that's on you.
Yeah,
I am sorry.
I would watch Call Me Bay actually just for Veerdas. Like he is such a fun-looking actor from the fact like he's playing this Arnab Goswami type clearly,
Yeah.
and he looks like the kind of guy who would have a ball with it. I mean, his Arup is still one of my favorite characters from Delhi Belly. His interactions with what's his name?
Kunal.
No. The Bugs Bhargava who plays his
Oh
boss.
yes.
This banana is not looking happy.
Listen, Delhi Belly, I will always remember because of Vijay Das.
Oh,
Learn
yeah.
from that man how to give a Kali. You
Or
need to
or
learn
or
from that
from the
man.
bald henchman, Sir
Yes.
Lundri.
Oh, God.
And the way Vijay Raj turns around, looks at him for a second, and Lundri.
Yeah. Speaking of Vijay Raj,
Yes.
Vicky or I don't know what the fucking
विद्या
name
का
of
वो
the
वाला वीडियो
वो
विकी
वाला
विद्या का
video.
वो वाला वीडियो आपने
Vicky
देखी
Vidya का वो वाला video. Of course not. Are you insane?
आप सब कुछ देखते हो सर I have
मैं
watched
सब
just
कुछ
125 movies this year. You have watched 550.
505 not 50.
पहुंच
last
जाओगे.
दोनों
By
digit
the
को.
time by the time I reached 130, you will have reached 550 in the next 9 days.
No, I think no, I'm not going to watch it because it's like at this point everybody is trying to make a so outside. So as you can hear from outside, things are going on
It's
in
Pujo
West
time.
Bengal. Things are going on in West Bengal, not just Pujo. It's
Oh,
all
okay.
the strikes and everything, hunger strike,
Oh, yeah.
strikes by the junior doctors and everything, which is like massive thing going on. And our chief minister has no response to any of that, which is like par for the course at this point.
Of
Anyway,
course, it's Mamta Banerjee. She doesn't
yeah,
respond to anything.
again, par for the course at this point. Hold on for a second.
Yeah. अब बस मैं हूँ दोस्तों.
I told her to close the bloody door.
But sorry, you were saying something about about Vicky Vidya ka wo wala video.
No, Wikividya ka wo wala video
So
is
the
basically,
hinterland comedy is what you've got a problem
yeah,
with.
it's Raj Chandilya again, who made Dream Girl and Dream Girl 2, and whose comic timing is still stuck in the 90s. So I'm like, why? But I understand nostalgia, but itna bhi nostalgia nahi hai, bro.
I think it's also that they're all trying to actually riff on the comedic bits of Dam Laga Ke Aisha, Sharat Kataria's film
Maybe,
from 9 years ago. The problem
maybe.
is that Dam Laga Ke Aisha is an authentic drama to some extent,
Hmm.
and just trying to pick out those comedic bits and trying to make a whole movie around them.
Hmm.
Like one clip of Tripti Dimri going Tharkulla Tharkulla will be funny, but after a point, I have to be
It,
able to buy into. I have to be willing to go and spend money to watch a movie like this.
yeah, like just Chris just pointed out, I have to bring this up. The three apology. So in Wikividya ka wo wala video, the makers of the movie actually included Stree, the ghost, in the movie.
What?
And they tried to make it a horror comedy to cash in on Street 2 success. The problem is they did not take permission from Maddox Films and Dinesh Vichan about it. So Raj
They got
Chandelier had,
screwed.
yeah. So Raj Chandelier had to type out a major apology note to Dinesh Vichan and Maddox Films.
Raj Chandelier versus Dinesh Vijan, Bhushan Kumar versus Karan Johar.
Uh,
Everything is happening.
that Bhushan Kumar versus Karan Johar will be an ideal segue into Jigra, because it's
That's why I
like,
gave it to.
yeah, that's
So
an ideal
finally,
segue.
finally, Vasan Bala has made a film that
I
Amartya
like.
has enjoyed.
I
But
like it.
it's actually he's made 4 films: Peddlers, Mat Ko Dard Nahi Hota, Monica Oh My Darling, and now Jigra. He's also made Cinema Amartya Dam Tak, the documentary show for Amazon, which
He
I
has,
have not watched, but Amartya has.
and he has made Spotlight, which
And he has made
in,
Spotlight, the one part of the anthology called
yes,
Ray, which was
yes,
supervised by Srijit. What's his name? Mukherjee.
Mukherjee,
हाँ
yes.
मेरे को मुखर्जी चैटर्जी बैनर्जी थोड़ा उसका
सर माफ कर दो, माफ कर दो. Oh
so
boy.
yeah. So but you've not been a fan of Bala's work in the past, right?
No, it's like man, I'm more surprised ki how many Bala's fans there are who actually got pissed that I was angry at Monica Oh My Darling being a Sriram Raghavan light movie. I'm like, but it is. What do you want me to say?
I'll come in on that. I don't think that's entirely fair to him because he is a director with a vision. That's
Hmm.
one thing is very clear. The guy knows how to direct a scene, and he knows
No,
how
no,
to
that
direct
it
a
is.
film. So
That it is.
to me,
He
the whole
just
thing of
annoys.
like
He has
to
a
some
stick. He has a stick which annoys the living
sure,
shit out of me.
but to
Yeah.
me, it's almost like he's a gentler Tarantino in some sense that he wants to share his love of cinema with people. Like,
Yeah, he's
uh,
not going to throw it at your face.
I hate that the reference after, like, what I like about his films is the cameos, the way they pop in. Like,
Hmm.
for instance, in both Monica Oh My Darling and in Jigra, there are cameos, there are callbacks to his old previous films. So in
Yeah, yeah.
Monica Oh My Darling, you see Abhimanyu Dasani and Radhika Madan, who both starred in Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota. In
And
Jigra, you
Radhika
see,
Madan is, yeah.
and in
Radhika
Jigra, you
Madan is
see,
in this.
she's
Yeah,
in
for
Jigra.
she's in Jigra. She was in the car in the first scene where that race, that car race. She's the one they are racing with before they're caught by the
Oh,
police.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
I didn't notice that, but Sikandar Khair plays Narayanan, the
yes.
fintech guy they go to see, and Akanksha Ranjan Kapoor is the air hostess who is surprised by
Hmm.
Alia Bhatt's menu demands. So
Yes.
I like that. I hate this universe building nonsense that everybody's on. That Singham again trailer gave me a headache. I
No,
wanted to
no.
like take my
Mm,
eyes and brain out and put them in like alcohol to like sanitize them and then put them back in like
See,
after everything
Singham
was
3 के बारे में Singham 3 के बारे में we will bitch a bit later. My thing about Bala is कि it's like you are telling ना कि gentler Tarantino. I still think that वो gentle थोड़ा regulate करना पड़ेगा, because it's like
Hmm.
even in this movie, like randomly naming your prisoners Wong Kar Wai,
I thought
John Woo,
that was a bit distracting.
yeah,
I didn't mind
and
Hansraj Landa at that much because it's not like if you read his nameplate you'll bother.
yeah,
Otherwise, he's just a dude called Landa, which is funny.
Yeah, but then again, the question arrives: then why would you cast Vivek Gomber as an expat who can't speak Hindi but is an Indian? I'm like, point kya hai?
I
Legit,
don't
please.
know. I think to some extent, it's also a question of I'm reaching for stuff here, obviously, but it's also a question of identity and how easily we tend to associate. Because how Satya is about not identifying with the people she's related to,
Hmm.
right? And how her
Hmm.
brother thinks that this man, just because he's of Indian origin, will help him out. Is that
Hmm.
whole sort of weird situation. There are parts of it that don't work. I hate the constant la 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 that keeps happening. Like there needs
So
to be more to a linguistic sort of
yeah.
affectation.
So before we get into that,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what is Jigra about, basically? So
yeah.
we are not again. I'm not reading from
No, no,
IMDb
no.
or Letterboxd because I'm not Dhruv. I don't prepare at all.
मैं करता
So
हूँ.
जो आपकी मर्जी. I'm just saying क्योंकि जो आपकी मर्जी.
Jigra is a very straightforward brother and sister story, or sister and brother story, about a
Yeah.
woman called Satya who decides to break her wrongfully imprisoned and awaiting death brother out of prison in a country that is called, what's the country called? Hong what?
Hosan Do or something. It's a island. It's a
Yeah, it's
landlocked island
basically
sort of.
China if it were a tiny ass country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's no sort of uh, subtlety to it. I mean, and
Yeah,
that's fine. I think
Hanshi Dao.
Hanchi
Hanshi Dao.
Dao, yeah.
Yeah, basically. So it's
So
basically kind of China in a
China,
way.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the whole repression of rights and everything, which is very interesting political subtext to add to a film like this, which is not really political. But
Yeah.
so basically, this young woman and her brother lost their father and mother at a very young age, were taken in by distant relatives. The distant relatives' son and the brother, who's the younger of the two siblings, are great friends. They go to crack a business deal in which the relative's son happens to get the boys happen to get arrested. The relative's son has drugs on him. The lawyer gets the guy bail as long as gets the
Fantastically
guy out.
sleazy, fantastically sleazy
Beautifully
and
played. I, I
unlikable lawyer.
I
Amazing
don't
stuff.
remember the actor's name, but he's obviously a very familiar face. He's
Yeah,
constantly
yeah.
all over the place. Um, and this guy is now sentenced to death for drug trafficking. Actually, that
Yeah.
the movie goes into that detail of getting him to confess to to sort of
Yeah.
trafficking and attempting to
In a
sell.
country that is much more harsher than
Harsher
India,
than
regard.
India, certainly.
Yeah.
In India, you get to write essays about all this stuff. So,
Yes.
thank you, Pune Police and Juvenile Justice Board, and the people who wrote the fucking law of our land. क्या
Anyway.
गंजा फूक के लिखा था anyway. So,
गांजा फूक के ही लिखा था. That is the thing.
it's interesting territory for Bala to be in, really, because he's sort of dealt with lighter subjects. I thought Mat Ko Dard Nahi Hota was very emotional in the sense of how Abhimanyu Dasani and
It
Mahesh
it is very
Manjrekar's
much
entire
it is very much a
dynamic plays
commercial
out.
movie. It is very much a commercial movie ka both homage as well as a commentary. Like
Yeah,
the Mat Ko Dard Nahi Hota, basically that
yeah,
mother son emotion and all that stuff. He's playing on all of it while also playing on the commercial hero aspect, while
as well.
heightening the fact and making him sort of like a pseudo superhero.
Yeah,
But what I liked about Mat Ko Dard Nahi Hota is also what I like about Jigra. Mat Ko Dard Nahi Hota, in spite of its aggressive cinephilia, is very sincere.
yeah.
Motko Dadriyota is very sincere. That sincerity I felt was lacking in both Spotlight and
Hmm.
Monica Oh My Darling. Monica Oh
I
My
thought it
Darling
was
had
there. I thought Monica, Oh My Darling was very committed to being a straight up genre film. So
hmm,
it doesn't, to my mind, then it doesn't require the same sincerity. But I get your point.
yeah, but like here I appreciated the sincere. I think this is more of a genre. This is more of a genre commitment than even Monica Oh My Darling. Genuinely, for me, this movie,
Okay.
it's like he is focusing very much on the prison break and the prison
Yeah.
heist genre, to the extent that there are moments within the plot where Murphy's law is going to happen eventually. However much you plan, that plan is
Hmm.
going to go sideways anyway, and
Yeah.
then you will have to get into desperation and you have to do something extremely
So then you
stupid
have
which
to
is going to
improvise.
get successful. Yeah, you have to
Essentially.
improvise. So
So
if Vasan Bala wanted to do his traditional stuff, that is break all the tropes and try to subvert it, he would have subverted it then and there. He doesn't.
right.
He
I like
sticks to
that.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I also like that.
I don't think we commit to masala films. Like the filmmakers who claim to be making masala films in Hindi today are not
Hmm.
making masala movies. They are trying to rip off uh, pot boilers from Tamil Nadu and Andhra, Telangana,
They are
and
taking
failing
templates, right? They are taking
colossally.
templates
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
they are failing colossally because the beats, while the emotional beats are the same, the way they are used is very different. Whereas
Hmm.
Jigra is a 2.5 hour film without any cuts for song, with no
Yes.
romantic interest. Like at some point, I dreaded that between Rahul Ravindran and Alia Bhatt something will happen, or
Yeah,
worse,
even I was dreading.
something some pseudo sort of Oedipal thing with what's his face,
No, no, no.
Manoj Pava will happen, right? But
इंडिया उतना डेवलप नहीं है सर अभी भी.
no, but like it, you never know, right? It's going so far as she does some pretty horrific stuff from like a conventional human morality point of view as a character,
Hmm.
right? But I also feel like the one thing that was missing in Monica Oh My Darling was uh, the fact that Prerna Sehgal didn't edit it, which
Hmm.
she edited both Mard and she has edited this. Like the way she cuts, and obviously she's married to Bala, so there is a certain kind of camaraderie partnership there that exists already. And I think this only cements my belief further that Thelma Schoonmaker really ruined Bombay Velvet by cutting it as much as she did. Blasphemous though that may be to say. Like you look
Yeah.
at that one cut that is there from the Mr. Mehtani's cigarette, cigar. The
Hmm.
cigar ka glow becomes the burst of firecracker,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
when
Yes.
she's on the flight, uh,
Yes.
there's some mention of Mandwa. She's watching the 1990 Mukulanand Agnipath, and
Hmm.
immediately the shot cuts to the film cuts to a shot of the island itself. It's
Yes.
in your editing has to match the intent with which you've written the script.
And it's
Like
also
if it's creepy,
including the references more subtly, right? Because you are
yeah,
also including Agnipath in it, because which is a massive
yeah, he sets
inspiration in
fire
India.
to the whole place and all of that.
She is essentially angry young woman in a way. Like at this
And
point, it's like,
unusually named villain like Kancha China, Hansraj Landa.
yeah,
It's
basically,
all
yeah, yeah,
there basically, right?
it's all there.
You have a character actor who's there as your sort of
Hmm.
strong support. In this case, it is Manoj Baba. In that film, it was I suppose Mithun Chakrabarti.
Mithun
Uh,
Chakravarti, yeah,
he's
yeah.
fuck all in that role though. Krishna Iyer MA. It's the most annoying part of Agnipath,
Oh God, no,
right?
no. I think I
Sorry.
I was genuinely impressed by first of all Alia Bhatt.
Hmm.
She is terrific in this. She is legitimately terrific in this.
Interesting. Okay.
At least
Hmm.
I felt she is, because what I realized is she is affected by the trauma of losing her father, because she saw it firsthand, right? She
First hand,
shielded her
right?
brother,
Shielded
but
the brother from it. Yeah.
shielded the brother, but she saw it firsthand.
Saw it for
So
herself. Yeah.
she is traumatized, and she is also high strung anxiety prone person. So
Right.
her anxiety prone brain is always either problem solving or binge
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that is why she becomes a fixer. If you look at the beginning of
Yeah.
the movie, it's almost essentially like a Michael Clayton or a Wolf's thing in a way, because
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
paying off people and everything. She's a fixer in that regard.
She's a
So
fixer. Yeah.
yeah, she's extremely efficient, but she is also plagued by dreams and all that stuff, and she is also
Hmm.
extremely high strung, which many idiots mistakenly think that she's playing the animal version, and I'm like, no, animal is dumb. Let's not go there. Yeah, many people were saying this is Alia Bhatt's Animal. I'm like, what
I
do you
think
guys know?
animal is isn't animal driven by just this hankering for attention from an absent
Yes,
parent
yes,
extended into a 180-minute movie.
yes, exactly. This is
Like
not that, nah.
yeah,
This is legitimate concern bursting into anxiety driven anger,
yeah,
basically, and anger which is honed into efficiency. That is a
okay,
fascinating choice, I felt,
right.
which is why her acting also worked for me, because it's very twitchy. If you look at
Hmm.
how she moves, or how she's moving her head or everything, or even when she's talking while thinking about, cutting her veins and everything, it is very
Yeah,
quick, it is very twitchy.
yeah.
Her acting choice, and I'm like, that
She's jittery, like she's
she's very
almost
jittery.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like she's not gotten her pills or something.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't think as highly of her, and I'll tell you why. Because I felt like while this whole stone face thing is very important to a large part of the film, at some
Hmm.
points there is cause for being more expressive.
Hmm.
And either she goes overboard, like when she's urging him to escape during the
Hmm.
jailbreak sequence, or
Hmm.
then she underplays it to the point where it's blankness. I felt she could have been better,
Hmm.
which is, I
I
mean,
thought I thought her face was tad bit too blank at the end when she's supposed to be extremely scared because
yeah,
because she's going to be shot. That was the time I'm like, that's way too blank. You
yeah,
cannot be that blank. But other than that, I actually bought into her, stone face, because that is like, that's an effort she's
right.
taking. That stone face, to maintain that stone face is an effort that she's
Sure, but
taking.
I mean, it's like again praising Suhana Khan for her angry outburst in Archies, right? It's it's more a default as opposed to
Sir,
actually having to emote.
इतना भी
So
harsh comparison नहीं कर सकता मैं.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's a bad performance at all. I think it's a very good performance. I just
Yeah.
found it lacking in some places as opposed to I even felt Vivek Gombar was a bit sort of roughshod. Like it's sometimes very heavy on. I feel like there needs to be commitment to accent and voice and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that
I
is
agree with Chris on this. Yeah.
okay. I enjoyed it. I don't like her in Gangubai actually very much. I don't like that film at all. It's
Hmm.
pretty abysmal, really. I mean, I'm not a Bhansali fan. Clearly, I look at the
Again,
set,
she's
look at the production design behind me. This is not a
sir.
Bhansali set.
सर किसको कह रहे हो किसको कह रहे हो मेरा पीछे देखो किसको कह रहे
आपका कमरा बड़ा तो है.
हो
So my thing is then that she's fortunately surrounded by some very good actors, and she herself is very good,
she
which
herself is also
pops
very
up the
good.
film. I thought
Yeah,
Vedang
yeah.
Raina was fantastic. I think it's a very difficult role to play because
I
you're
think you are in the minority there, because many people did not like his performance. I don't understand why. I think he was quite good. I
because
genuinely think he
see
was
the
quite
thing
good.
is
Yeah.
it's your second fiddle. First of all, it's an Alia Bhatt film,
Of
right?
course.
She literally has above the title billing on the posters. It says
Yeah.
Alia Bhatt and then it says Jigra. So
Yeah.
he is not the central focus of the film. I think that is again a place where I had a problem with the film, that it goes back to the prison too much. I felt like it should have stayed with Satya and her planning,
Hmm.
and maybe reduced how much it stays with Vedang Raina.
Yeah,
And
but that's also part of the plotting, right? Because that is
sure,
when Bala's subversion is coming into play,
yeah,
because he's showing that they are also plotting
yeah.
a
So
jailbreak which failed.
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
spoiler alert. Yeah, so
So
they are also
double
plotting a
jailbreak
jailbreak which
kind of,
failed,
yeah.
double jailbreak kind of a thing. But I like that, because I'm like, okay, if you're going to make something interesting and if you're going to play into the genre, these are much more appreciated to a certain
Yeah, but
degree.
then you're having to sacrifice on the fact that she comes up with the improvised plan. Her and Manoj Baba come up with the improvised plan after Muthu leaves them within
Yeah,
like seconds, which to me is just not enough. It needs to be a
that
little.
last third act is also very rushed.
It's
Like,
really, yeah. It's just
yeah, it's very rushed.
I like the fact that she kills Muthu.
Yeah,
I thought
I like that.
that was a very interesting place to go. Like, and she's shaken up by it, but not enough to
Hmm.
stop, pause,
Yeah.
do soul searching. Another filmmaker would have put one song over there and she goes around looking at the places and the
Siddharth Anand.
flashbacks.
Siddharth Anand.
Siddharth Anand would not make Jigra because Hrithik Roshan shirt nahi utar sakta hai. The whole function of Siddharth Anand's filmography at this point is to get his male lead to strip down to his underpants.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
you're not wrong about that. Yeah.
so
I
I
can't
don't know.
even deny that.
But to me then okay. I mean, that's just a dad thing, I think. My dad asks for clarifications multiple times during movies. ये क्या हो रहा है? वो कौन है? इसको हमने कहाँ देखा था? ये कौन सी पिक्चर में था? And I'm like, Papa, I'll tell you after the movie is over.
Yes.
My sister and
इसलिए
I
I
made the
don't go.
mistake.
इसलिए I don't go with anybody in the movies. मैं कुछ explain नहीं कर सकता. मुझे खुद figure out करना है. मैं कुछ
No,
explain नहीं कर सकता वहाँ
you
पे.
give my dad something straightforward like 12th fail to watch, and he'll happily lap it up because it's that typical dad kind of movie that they'll enjoy. Arey, it's about hard work. Look at how far this
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, but there's a lot of problems in his hard work also. उसको nobody should have to live like this. That is also
Yeah.
a point in the film. But I think that's just different worldview.
Then he will be like, but he succeeded, bro.
Yeah. So Not that my father ever had IAS aspirations. I think my parents were fortunately very supportive of letting me go and do
Chris,
whatever
that
I
is
want.
unfair. See, Chris, that is unfair to your father. Why would you take the Infinity War with zero
Yeah, my
context?
sister and I took my dad to The Dark Knight Rises without him having watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. He's like, "ये लोग कौन है?" We are like, "This is part 3." He's like, "What nonsense? What? Who's going to show me part 1 and 2? तुम लोगों
अरे
ने टिकट बुक करवा दिया, हम चुके
आपको
आए."
तो पहले 2 मूवीज दिखाने थे। इसको सोचो, क्रिस पैट्रिक के डैड को पहले 11
Homework,
मूवीज दिखाने पड़े।
homework. Dad is
No,
taking
no.
leave from work to sit and watch movies, basically,
Yeah, basically.
to prep for Infinity War. But no, I think one part of
Which, by
Jigra
the
that
way, my sister did. Just putting it out there. When my sister started,
why you
to
doxing your sister
accompany.
like this?
No, no, I'm not doxing my sister. I'm saying it's a massive compliment to her. Like motherly duties. When her son started getting into MCU, her elder son, she also started watching and she got very into it. She's
How
like,
come
okay,
you as the uncle, as the mama, are not doing all this stuff?
because they live in Siliguri and I live in
You are not willing to
Jalpaiguri.
make the you are not willing to make the
No,
30-kilometer journey.
no, 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 no.
You're not
45.
sir, it's a matter of jumping onto that Darjeeling wala train. ठीक है, उतर जाओ सिलीगुड़ी पे
सर
और जाके करो.
बस दार्जिलिंग वाला ट्रेन भी नहीं चाहिए, बस में ही जा सकते।
एनजेपी से जाती है ना वो स्टीम
हाँ,
इंजन डीएचआर, उसके ऊपर चढ़ जाओ गार्ड के साथ दोस्ती करके. उसको बताओ वोंग कार-वाई के बारे में.
हाँ, क्योंकि
So
वसंत माला तो वोंकार भाई किम की डूक और जॉन बू का नाम लेके प्रिजनर का नाम देते थे।
निकल गया.
मतलब
I
ये
mean that was
क्या
funny
था?
though. I thought that was it's distracting if you know who they are, but
या
it's also the kind of stupid cinephilia that one can engage in. I don't want. I like the fact I liked it better when the kid is telling his sister who all bothered him in school, and he's like Ranjit Amrish.
यस यस यस।
I was like, dude, trust Bala to do something like this.
ओह
Ranjit and
गॉड।
Amrish. It's
नो नो,
ridiculous. But
some of the references which I liked were, I think, were in Alia Bhatt's t-shirts. Like there is one t-shirt in which there is a Wolverine ka monogram, and I'm like, that tracks. Wolverine in the comics is short, stocky, and has a berserker rage. Alia Bhatt is basically playing that same role in a way.
same range.
Yeah. And secondly, there is another t-shirt of her which is a white t-shirt with Blondie written with a picture of a blonde woman. That is American New Wave rock band Blondie,
Okay.
which is all, yeah, which is also like extremely anti-establishment and all that stuff. I'm like, okay,
But see, this
I
is
can
the
buy
kind
that.
of detailing I enjoy in cinema for the simple reason that it means directors are paying attention to their craft as opposed to films like, let's take a Sam Bahadur for instance, which is so unimaginative in how it dresses Indira Gandhi like, some perpetually in mourning person. Like she wore like proper saris with some color, not like ये धोबी ने ज्यादा धो दिया है और अभी इसका सारा रंग उतर
You
गया
mean
है तो
not
मैं
like Mamta Banerjee?
ममता बनर्जी वेयर रेलवे से चुराया हुआ कपड़ा है सारी.
Don't say that. Her saris were extremely expensive. Do not say that.
वो आप लोगों को बताया जा रहा है, वो पैसा वो अभिषेक के पास जा रहा है.
नहीं सर, वो हम लोग को बताया नहीं जा रहा है। हम लोग को पैसे नहीं मिल रहे, पैसे तो कहीं जा रहे हैं।
वो अभिषेक के पास जा रहा है, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. So no, but the thing is that what Jigra does and really well is it exploits the sibling bond.
Very well.
We
It
don't
actually
get
does it
good
very well. Yeah.
we don't get good sibling sort of stories, which is part of my review actually that I'm still writing at
I
this point.
actually kind of bought that because I have an elder sister. Though I
Yeah,
don't think my elder sister is that badass like Alia, but
my
she's never
sister
going to
my
go.
sister
Yeah, yeah. She's never going
but
to do
she's
any
done
of
it in
this shit.
school, right? My sister actually I think nearly suffocated a person by strangling him with his own tie because he had messed around with me. उस
Yeah.
बहन ने पकड़ लिया उसका टाई and ऐसे खींच दिया. That guy. And she had him full decked on the seat of the bus like this.
She's reminding me of Ranbir Kapoor in Animal when he walked in with a machine gun.
अब नहीं करेगी. My sister is not coming to break me out of jail, though. I mean, given our respective antics, she's more likely to land up in jail.
Yikes. And my
I,
sister is way too responsible. She has become more motherly at this point, so she's not going to do any of that shit.
and आप में जिगरा छोड़ो, आपकी पीठ में भी उतनी
Yeah.
जान नहीं बची होगी to
नहीं
carry
नहीं
out.
नहीं, 100%.
You would not be able to take the salt wax.
No,
Like,
no.
यार पीठ में दर्द हो रहा है, बस कर.
Yeah, basically. Which, by the way, that looked painful as hell. That is like
And kudos to Bala, he doesn't cut to a shot of the
no,
back.
he
Like,
doesn't cut
so
to
many
no.
directors would be exploitative of that, right? When एक shot डाल देता हूँ,
Exactly.
खून पसीना. It's got a
खून
15
पसीना
plus
निकल रहा
rating
है.
here. I don't know what the rating is in India. Again,
It's
I
UA
feel
only.
like QA only, but I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like this is a film which calls for like an intermediary rating, much like Agnipath did like 10, 12 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
But Agnipath was like properly violent.
Agnipath was very violent.
Like
Very,
no
very
child
violent.
should be watching that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like that final sequence is ultra violent. I'm like,
And
Jesus
like
Christ.
full like hanging दिखा
Yeah.
रहे हैं.
हाँ, सब
But
कुछ
best
कर
was,
रहे हैं.
I mean, even they see that, they show that even in Jawan with the statutory warnings, suicide is not an option. And like trust the government of India to be like, ये डाल देना.
ये डाल देना. No, and even Atlee was like, I'm doing social service, मैं डाल दूंगा.
मैं सबको बता दूंगा, suicide is not an option. What rubbish. But no, I still don't think it sort of matches up to either Monica or Marco Hota, because I just
I
enjoy
think
those two so much more.
I think it's better than Monique. For me, again, I am not a massive Vasan Bala fan. Like, if that is not very clear, I'm not a massive Vasan Bala fan because I don't like aggressive cinephilia. I don't like people flashing their cinephilic bona fides by just openly stating that out. I really don't like that.
Okay.
I think there are very few people who can manage to, insert cinephilia.
I feel actually he's not
within
even
the plot.
Tarantino. He's more Edgar Wright than Tarantino.
He's more Edgar
Tarantino is
Wright.
annoying. Tarantino is more annoying. I find Tarantino's cinephilia like
Tarantino's annoyance, I think, strikes out more in some of the other movies, like his earlier stuff more than most, because Bastards is exceptionally well done. I really love
Yeah,
that movie.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I also
Bastards
like, I think the one you don't, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That I am very annoyed with. That is
I
one movie.
I don't like Django very much.
I love that movie. I really do.
Cold on Reservoir Dogs.
Hmm.
Strangely cold. I can't stand Hateful Eight. I think it's the most turgid, boring thing he's ever made.
I like that movie. You don't like that movie? I thought it was very delving very much into Agatha Christie territory.
Why the fuck would you shoot Ultra Panavision 70mm inside a
that is-
bloody set?
That is true. That I agree. That I agree.
The most creditable thing about that film is Ennio Morricone's score. It's haunting.
Which is basically modified things. The modified thing score basically. It's the thing. Yeah.
So, but no, I enjoyed most of Jigra. I think it's also a masala movie after a while that is,
like that final sequence, right?
Yeah,
where she gets up and then it's like, I'm like, slow motion, क्यों डाल रहा है?
Yeah.
It's like she's going and
but
then
the
she's
slow motion
running.
is actually, I think, shot for slow motion, so it looks natural.
Unlike Zack Snyder.
As opposed to slowed down slow motion, which is shot on regular frame rates and then slowed down. I think again, Swapnil Sonawane's work is unique to his body of work. Achin
Thakkar's score is magnificent. It's so good.
I have not listened to soundtrack independent of the film yet. I will, but I really enjoyed it.
It's a magnificent score, and again, it's like Manoj Pawar, dude.
Oh dear, come on! How can you forget Manoj Pawar?
Jesus.
I love that last moment between him and Alia Bhatt when she's like, Bhatia Saab, and he just does this to himself because he has not had that interaction with the child.
Also that Zanjeet drop. Oh man.
I love it when he slams down. That truck enters and it's just Yari Hai Iman, because I could remember Pran jumping up and dancing. That was the first image that came to my mind.
Yeah. I was like, damn, man, that's how you use reference. That's how you use a reference. That is so well done.
And Muthu saying, "Ye koi Bollywood masala movie nahi hai, it's complicated," which is almost like a snide thing of, making these movies is also complicated.
Yeah. And it's also like not even the Agnipath reference is also very Zanjeer like, right? Because in Zanjeer, Amitabh Bachchan's cop is disillusioned and he kind of becomes a quote-unquote vigilante.
Yeah.
And he teams up with a gangster.
Yeah,
here also it's more or less the same thing, because Manoj
I'm
Pawar's
so
character is
glad.
an ex. Yeah.
I'm so glad they reference the original Zanjeer and not Apur's last.
Not the Ramcharan Sanjeev.
Sanjay Dutt as Sher Khan. Oh God,
I am dreading to watch it because I am not exactly the biggest fan of the original Sanjeev. I like it. I don't think
it's a
it's their
fun
best
movie. I
movie.
watched it when it came on Z Classic years ago. Like my mom used
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
like, watch Bachchan movies because she's a huge Bachchan fan.
yeah.
And I mean, practically everyone of that time, you're either a Bachchan fan or you're
Either
a
a Bachchan fan or a
Shashi Kapoor
Shashi
fan.
Tharoor fan. Shashi Tharoor fan, yeah.
Kapoor, Tharoor nahi.
Kapoor, sorry, it's Tharoor nahi. Tharoor ka fan only literary students will be, yes.
वो भी नहीं actually. But no, I'm looking forward to what Bala does next because this hopefully opens up like pathways for him to sort of explore the kind of cinema he can do. You
Hmm.
need a mainstream hit, unfortunately, still. And Jigra is not a
In this
clean hit
country,
yet.
Jigra is not a clean hit because I'll tell you why it is not a clean hit. Because it is, first of all, it doesn't have quote unquote mass scenes. अनिरुद्ध का पीछे बैकग्राउंड नहीं चल रहा है,
Yeah.
मासी 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 नहीं चल रहा है एक तो, और दूसरा is all the Korean conversations which is going on. The subtitles are in Hindi. It's not even in English, and it's like,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know whether you got that.
I mean,
Okay,
I got a fully subtitled show, sir. English में
you got a
समझो.
fully subtitled show. Here वो सब नहीं है. The subtitles are in Hindi. So it's
अच्छा.
like even the English conversations
But
are
that's a
subtitled in
censor
Hindi.
mandate, I think. It's not a mandate of the filmmakers.
Yeah, but I think it further alienated some of the general audiences who are already alienated, by the way, because the movie takes a long time to build up, which is fine by me. I like the build up.
Yeah.
I did not mind the build up. I
Nor did
think
I. I thought it's perfectly well paced. I
hmm,
felt like it could have shaved off 15-20 minutes in the first half and not lost anything.
hmm.
And then sort of padded that into the actual build up of the planning and everything. That would have been fun.
I genuinely think the entire reasoning for why Vedang Raina's character is in the
Hmm.
prison could have been solved by just a flashback sequence of maybe 10 minutes. You did not need that entire build up. I
I
genuinely
think
don't
I
think
think
so.
the actual entire build up helped because when you know obviously that these are not going to be okay people, but initially they're like she's a member of our family and this that and the other and
Hmm,
chal raha hai wo sab. So when the ball drops, you're not shocked, but you're like, dude, gee, what fuck all human beings y'all are.
hmm.
It
Yeah.
helps, and then of course the fact that the film builds on that.
Hmm.
I'm not. I know I liked Rahul Ravindran's performance a fair bit. I feel like they
Hmm.
could have done more with the character again. But I like
Yeah,
that he's a
because
principled cop.
इतना build up
He
और
doesn't.
इतना development दिया, फिर उसके
Hmm.
बाद
But
how he's
I did like the fact that he doesn't compromise with his principles. He's not like,
ideals. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, I will not let you do this, and then there's a
Hmm.
confrontation, which
Hmm.
has to happen,
Which has to
right?
happen.
I
Yeah.
I felt like Manoj Baba could have lived at the end, but he became the dead wife sort of. Yeah, the
Again,
best friend has to die.
Manoj Pawar's performance is
मनोज पापा को रख लो कोई बोतल में अंदर like a genie, like you can just he elevates, like he can do
he
anything.
elevated IC to 814, dude. That show, if he
Yeah,
wasn't in it,
of course,
if
yeah.
he wasn't in it, I don't know whether he could have enjoyed the show
So
half as much as if
tedious,
he's.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole bloody Osama bin Laden name dropping. I'm like, this is pre 9/11. India
Yeah,
doesn't care about Osama at this point.
yeah, yeah.
He's
I'm
just a
like,
rando Saudi Arabian hanging around in Afghanistan, heading
yeah.
something called the Al Qaeda, which was originally
Yeah,
started
like they haven't got
supposedly with
into the
American
radar
money.
yet. Like they haven't got into
Yeah.
the radar yet. That's the problem of having hindsight and trying to
Yeah,
retrofit it
yeah.
into history. History did not happen that way. That's a
It's
problem.
also like I want to make my show seem like it's it
Relevant.
adds up to something. But
It
Osama is
adds up.
not relevant today. He's been dead a long time.
Mm,
Right?
yeah,
I mean, Masood Azhar is far more relevant. I would much rather you spend time with him and Yashpal Sharma. But
yeah.
that's a conversation for a different time.
For a different time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Netflix के
I don't
season
think
2
it,
बनाने
it
का.
merits a conversation, honestly. What
Yeah.
season 2? There has been no major hijacking since 814.
अरे बना देगा सर क्या है?
The making of Yodha.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes. योद्धा का realistic
Hijacking
portrayal.
audiences.
कोई योद्धा टाइप एक और मूवी बना दो यार. Most fun I had in a theater. I was laughing so hard at that movie. Really,
Terrible.
it's so dumb. It is so dumb.
Of course it's dumb. It's got Siddharth Malhotra in it. You're not expecting smart from a movie with that guy.
It is so dumb, damn man. Yeah.
Like, he's terrible, dude. Like, but
Speaking
I mean,
of
he is also in the film that we both said was the best film
which
that
one?
Dharma made before Jigra. Kapoor and Sons.
Kapoor and
This is-
Sons. I
this is
think that was mandated. I think that was
agreed upon.
producer mandate. I think
Yeah.
that was producer mandate. that he will be
शकुन को
fast.
बोला या तो सिद्धार्थ को ले ले या फिर पिक्चर नहीं बनाने दूंगा.
हाँ, basically, yeah.
And then Ratna Pathak and Rajat Kapoor and Fawad Khan and Rishi Kapoor acted their butts off to make sure कि ये पागल हमारी पिक्चर खराब नहीं करेगा.
हाँ. And he did not. He wasn't.
कर तो दी थोड़ी सी उसने, कर तो दी उसने.
उतना भी नहीं था. मतलब
Like that breakdown with Ratna Pathak is like terrible. आप सोचते नहीं हो मेरे बारे में यार. तू ऐसे रोएगा तो कोई नहीं सोचेगा तेरे बारे में.
Oh God.
And I mean, my quote unquote appreciation for the guy's craft has just reduced. Shesha was so like
Craft
lazy.
hai?
Ugh. No, I mean,
I think-
you could have when Student of the Year came out, everybody said he's the one with the most charisma. Then Hasi To Fasi came out and it worked.
Hasi To
And
Fasi
then
actually worked, but I
it
think that's
was
more because of
all
Pariniti
downhill
Chopra.
from there.
No,
Sure,
no,
but you needed someone to play the laid back, lazy
Yeah.
ass, who's confused, and he played that type well. Then he did Ek Villain, and everybody was like, "Wait, I don't think this dude knows how to act." Because everybody was talking about Ritesh Deshmukh in that movie,
yeah.
and Shraddha Kapoor and villain. And I'm like, dude, no wonder you're getting murdered by people if you keep shouting like that. You are definitely
Obligatory A villain. Obligatory A villain. Yes.
absolutely. On that note, I think we should call it a day.
Yes, because we bought a Shraddha Kapoor within an Alia Bhatt conversation. At this point, even Shraddha fans are like, "You kar rahe ho."
Yeah, but then we are not the biggest fans of 3-2 either. So
Yes.
3-1 over 3-2 any day.
Yeah. I don't think normal audiences are now at this point, which begs the question, it made so much money, normal audiences सोच क्या रहे हैं? Because now it's coming out on Netflix and everybody is like, such a bad movie. I'm like, तो तुम लोग गए क्यों भाई?
No, but it's also like a packed Independence Day weekend. There's the summer was quiet. What was there in the summer apart from Munja? Munja was crap anyway. So
क्यों रिमाइंड कर रहे हो कि वो मूवी एग्जिस्ट करता है? मैंने और संजीत ने देखा है. I'm still not over that.
मैंने भी देखा है sir. As preparation for 3-2. As preparation, what the fuck?
I'm just anticipating. Yeah. See, Singham returns. Yes, Singham returns.
Again, returns हो गया. Again. Singham
Will no
again,
one can
Singham
understand.
returns.
Will no one can.
खेल में सर बन गई पिक्चर खेल में.
That movie is not half bad.
Sir,
Not
please,
half bad.
people are considering Fardeen Khan an actor. I cannot live in a world like this, okay?
He wasn't bad. He wasn't good, but he wasn't bad either.
He can't deliver a line like normally.
No, he did that this time. He did it this time.
I saw 5 minutes of the movie, okay? I was like, okay, this is crap. I cannot, like, the whole affectation nonsense doesn't work for me.
Nahin,
You
sir,
know,
Adi-
the whole nudge, wink with the Chitrangada Singh message right at the end of the movie
yes.
is such a cheap parlor trick kind of thing that
Yes,
you
sir,
would
वो-
expect in an Akshay Kumar movie.
नहीं सर, वो आदित्य सील को अगर कोई कास्ट करेगा इन द मूवी, आई एम लाइक
उसका नाम सील क्यों है? लेकिन मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ. मुझे ये they had they made up, and I think the funnier thing was making Amy Virk gay and then being like, oh वो gay नहीं है, which is so weird. I'm like, okay, that's
which is so insensitive also. I'm like,
yeah,
you are traumatizing Tapsi Pannu's character completely.
और shits and giggles.
और shits and giggles.
And वो जाकर अपने आप को liver cirrhosis देकर आ चुकी है वापस.
हाँ, वापस.
Just anything goes in these movies. I don't know whether to expect anything out of Veda, but I might watch
Sir,
it.
Veda मत देखो. Veda starts out as a political statement but becomes an action movie, and that to a John Abraham boring action movie. And I'm like, क्यों? Like I was so disappointed. क्यों कर रहे हो?
I mean, we're not spoiled for choice. What else is left in this year? I mean, it's already October, so we are only 3 months away from a new Sriram Raghavan movie. So we can give thanks for that.
We have Bhool Bhulaiya 3 and Singham again coming.
You have Bhool Bhulaiya 3 and Singham again to tolerate. I look forward to small things like these. Killian Murphy's new film.
सर अच्छे देश में चले गए हो, हमें क्यों सुना रहे हो?
अच्छा देश तो ऐसे सच कुछ है नहीं. यहाँ पे भी कचरा कूड़ा है, यहाँ पे भी बस लेट आती है, इतना कुछ खास है नहीं. ठीक है, ये मैं सबको पहले ही आगाह कर दूं कि इस भ्रम में मत आइए यहाँ पर कि सब टिप टॉप है.
सब
यहाँ पे 12,000 homeless people. It's difficult to see that in one of the world's biggest cities. I mean, it's natural almost, but like it's unacceptable that the West has so much wealth and it's not able to divert it to some extent and cater to a minuscule number of its population. So there's enough. I mean, that is not said about the West and the way people live here in our part of the world.
Because media is skewed towards
we are not raised to talk ill of
the West
people, right? No, of anybody. We would not. If we grew up in the 60s, we wouldn't be speaking ill of Russia either. We would be like, "Arey, the Soviet state is so cool and वहाँ सब मिल रहा है."
सर वो तो अमेरिकन कंजर्वेटिव्स ही कर रहे हैं. वो तो कंजर्वेटिव अमेरिकन ही कर रहे हैं. टकर कार्लसन को देख लो.
सोवियत रशिया में सब कुछ मिल रहा है लेकिन कोई मिल नहीं रहा है.
कोई मिल नहीं रहा है.
That's the problem. सबके सब गुलाग में. So it's no, but I mean the one advantage is I suppose that films that release here, Outrun, I mean I really recommend it. Saoirse Ronan's Oscar thing.
Travel, film and food critic all in one. Varun Bhake.
I'm also a social commentator now. मैंने poverty और homelessness की बात कर दी है. But no, do check out the Outrun if you've not watched it. Anybody? I mean, like it is.
It is not released anywhere in this country, so wait करना पड़ेगा. So it's like
I mean, but it's really good. It's got its problems, but like she's phenomenal, and like some of it is just breathtakingly well made. Blitz, I would really hold my horse. Like, be very careful about committing to anything on that movie, like because it also does not commit to a lot. Ultimately.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Again, I think Widows is his weakest movie. If it is worse than that, there is a problem.
I don't know whether there's a comparison because Widows is so clearly a genre film, right? It's more a moment in history plus the life of a boy. And I mean, he's phenomenal. Elliot Heffernan is incredible in the film. But like I said, he's not Saoirse Ronan from Atonement. But I don't think any child actor is ever going to be
performance. That's a massive performance. Like that.
Yeah, I know Dhruv will hate me for this, but Saoirse Ronan was robbed of an Oscar that year. Tilda Swinton got it for Michael Clayton. I don't think that was a
she was great. Yeah, she was great.
She was great, but Saoirse Ronan was superlative. She was better than probably anybody else who was nominated that year.
Anyway.
Like, and for a 13-year-old to have that level of control over like how they emote.
She was
directed by Joe Wright. Like, he's not even that good a director.
He's a good enough director only. Like Darkest Hour it became so stagey. I'm like, kya kar
Darkest Hour is a TV movie. They were doing a screening of it here in the Churchill War Rooms. I mean, Darkest Hour really. वो क्यों आएगा कोई देखने?
I mean, considering
£32 देकर.
I'm sorry, but considering Churchill, it's fine.
I mean, it's just such a forgettable film. It's a great performance, but again, when it's stuck in such a mediocre movie, it's like
it's hilarious to me that Gary Oldman's currently best performance is Slow Horses because that show
best performance will always be George Smiley and Tinker Tailor. I know people say underplaying is always considered better acting, but how much can you do in a scene without being noticeable is to me a good idea for good barometer for acting.
Also, Dhruv is basically trying to rein us in because we are going off the rails. Yeah.
What are we doing next week, sir? आप क्या पिक्चर रिलीज हो रही है अगले हफ्ते?
नेक्स्ट वीक है क्या? नेक्स्ट वीक तो 17 फ्राइडे 17 को कुछ ज्यादा कुछ रिलीज हो भी नहीं रहा है. इट्स लाइक
में कुछ नहीं आता. दिवाली और दशहरा के बीच में कुछ नहीं आता है.
Everything is like under a holding pattern until Diwali at this point.
नहीं, री-रिलीजेस होंगे ना.
नहीं सर, मुझे री-रिलीजेस नहीं देखना, माफ
यहाँ
करो।
पे रब ने बना दी जोड़ी दिखा रहे हैं, यहाँ पे मैं हूं ना दिखा रहे हैं. मैं हूं ना is part of a larger action film festival that BFI is doing. So they're doing a marathon Mission Impossible thing.
I'm still waiting to watch Badass
I
Ravi Kumar.
really want to watch
That
Badass
movie is
Ravi Kumar.
coming out. That movie is coming out. That is going to be a masterpiece, huh?
there's दो पति काजोल की पिक्चर आ रही है. ध्रुव सर आप कैसे भूल गए?
Oh yes.
काजोल
Yes.
written by your favorite Kanika Dillon.
हाँ, ये मूवी के बारे में बात करना पड़ेगा. Yes. We have to talk about this film.
Dhadak 2 is coming out next month.
Next
Anurag
month.
Basu's new movie is also coming out.
What is Anurag Basu's new movie?
Metro 2.
Oh God, that movie is coming out. कोई ट्रेलर मैंने तो कुछ दिखा ही नहीं.
अब एक महीने पहले निकलेगा ना, अभी तक
एक
हुआ
महीना
नहीं
तो हो रहा है.
नहीं, और 10 दिन के बाद आएगा. सिंघम अगेन का तो अभी आया with less than 3 weeks to go. Then
Yes.
the wonderfully titled Battamiz Gill is coming out.
मतलब बेसिकली कुछ नहीं है. मतलब बेसिकली कुछ.
I had sent the title of this movie to Sanjeev and I was like, what is this Battamiz Gill? But you guys might want to like cover like Chhava, I suppose, Lakshman Utekar's film. I know he's not highly regarded as a director, but Vicky Kaushal,
Favorites of the month is back. Yes. Favorites of the month is back.
I get to talk about Outrun if I come by. So
Timo Chahanto's The Shadow Strays is coming out. Timo Chahanto, for anybody who is unfamiliar, he made The Night Comes For Us, a fantastic action movie. It's out on Netflix if you haven't seen it.
ये भी आ रही है, Baby John by Atlee.
Baby John is in December. It's Atlee's Theri remake. Theri का remake है ये.
Then there is Amir Khan's comeback, Sitare Zameen Par.
Tare Zameen Par ka sequel. I'm really not at all
Limo
interested.
Chakrabarti is in a new movie called Oye Bhutni Ke, which is also what Mithun calls him.
Sir, Mithun has a film out. Mithun has a film out called Shastri, Bengali movie. Shastri. Yes.
उसको अभी बस नेशनल अवार्ड लेकर संन्यास ले लेना चाहिए. And then come January we have another Amir Khan production featuring Sunny Deol. That's going to be fun.
We need Sanjit ka meme. Oye!
It's going to be a good bunch of like next couple of months. मजा आएगा.
मजा आएगा. Anyway, no, next week I don't know what we are doing. To be very honest.
Favorites होगा.
Favorite मान के चलो next week. This
and
week
if group decides Shining का live stream होना है या recording होना है.
अच्छा, this week Varun, I should ask you, are we doing the recording of the Hammer movies ka thing?
Yes, we will. Thursday.
We are doing it Thursday.
We are doing this on live stream only now. Fantastic.
Yes.
Dhruv is going to kill us.
Yes. No. We are just telling you what is coming in the future.
Yeah.
So basically, it's Halloween month. We already have Kinds of Kindness. We already have one episode in the can talking about 2024 ka horror movies in detail, which should come out in a day or two. We will record the Hammer
movies. You're lighting a fire
episode.
under Dhruv's ass ki edit kar, तैयार कर episode abhi.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, we are going to talk about Hammer movies. That's it.
Yeah, two Hammer horror movies, not too much.
Yeah, two Hammer.
It is तैयार. आप ही बस तैयार नहीं हो सर. Live stream पे आने के लिए.
Legitimately, I think Control basically amounted to him falling sick at this point.
इतना disappointed मोटवानी से.
इसलिए expectation no exuma. Yes, no exuma.
सर आपके लिए बहुत आसान है बोलना एक्सपेक्टेशन मत रखो. ध्रुव को देखो कितना भावुक हो जाता है. मोटवानी से एक्सपेक्टेशन होगी सर. It is imperative.
सर इसलिए साल में 500 मूवीज देखना चाहिए. कोई एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं रहता है. You are exhausted. एक्सपेक्टेशन रखने का भी सीन नहीं होता है.
I mean the fact that we've reached October and Merry Christmas is still the best Hindi film of the year.
That is legit. That is legit.
Like, I mean, it's not likely not going to be topped. I mean, who's going to make a better Hindi film than Sriram Raghavan? Rohit Shetty.
Quite possibly, because Singham again is basically Adi Purush ka remake in Singham ka setting. Which, by the way, Dhruv, did you see the trailer?
Dhruv has seen the trailer. He wants to be a victim of Singham, so he doesn't have to watch the movie.
अरे सर देखो आई एम नॉट इवन किडिंग आप देखो ट्रेलर
अदनंगा क्यों घूम रहा है लेकिन टाइगर श्रॉफ? कौन सा पुलिस वाला भटकता है ऐसे?
सर
And it's got good like interesting parallels. Jackie Shroff playing a terrorist, Tiger Shroff playing a policeman. Maybe they'll turn out to be father and son in the movie. But Jackie Shroff की
रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव
character
नहीं कर सकता है रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव सिंघम का नहीं हो सकता सर वो सारे मूवीज ही साउथ के मूवीज के कॉपी है क्या रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव करो
the South movie copy universe.
यस
That is Rohit Shetty's whole thing. वो police officer ने वो tiger. हाँ that's true. वो अपना costume खुद decide करता होगा. That is कि मेरे चेहरे पे तो कुछ भी नहीं है देखने लायक. ये देखो मैं जिम जाकर आया हूँ.
Anyway, I think
on that note, we will call it a day. Thank you
yes.
For staying with us for so long.
For
Chris
staying
Patrick,
with us. Yes,
thank you for moderating comments, Dhruv. I don't even know how many people watched this, but that's besides the point.
I have no idea how many people watch this at this point.
Take care. Do go and watch Jigra. We recommend it quite a bit.
Yes.
I don't think Amartya recommends Control much. So,
I mean, you can watch it because it's on Netflix, but don't expect too much from it. That's
you can watch it because it's on Netflix. What kind of logic is that?
Yeah, by Netflix पे सब कुछ है. Isn't that what Netflix is for anyway?
Netflix खत्म कर दो. Completion. You get like a badge, like a Steam badge. You completed Netflix. Congratulations. Reed Hastings आपके घर आ रहे हैं. Yeah. Take care, Dhruv. Please get well soon so you can talk about movies like I don't know whatever other pretentious recent release you liked.
Wow.
वो कुछ बोल नहीं सकता ना अभी तो
अच्छा anyway okay bye
guys
live
bye as opposed to hello
wow.
सर खत्म करो स्ट्रीम
सर कोई खत्म करो स्ट्रीम
हम बस बैठे हैं
I have to watch on Netflix original Hindi films for a podcast.
You wish you were in the movie opposite Ananya Pandey.
कोई लाइव स्ट्रीम खत्म करो